everyone. This is Chris Salona from Grunge Bible, joined by Ethan Shalloway of Grunge Bible on another episode of the Grunge Bible podcast because we love grunge and we don't care who knows it. Ethan, how are you today in grunge world?
It feels good to be here in the grunge community.
'Cause we love grunge.
We just love grunge, and today will be a really good episode because we get to talk about the Bible that is grunge.
The Grunge Bible.
Episode 65, yeah?
65, bringing it to you, rolling right along. We don't miss. We haven't missed, and we're not missing
No
this
plans
week.
to. No plans to miss. We're just hitting dingers left and right, just firing them off, smacking them.
That's all there is to do at this point.
Yeah,
And,
my energy levels are high. Chris, you look like you're in a very,
I'm
what's the
locked
word I'm
in.
looking for? Incognito right now.
I'm keeping a low profile. My head's down. I'm just ready to.
If you're watching on
Ready to talk
YouTube, you know
grunge.
exactly what I'm talking about. Chris is going sunglasses on inside. He's got a mustache still, and he's going baseball cap forwards. He's a low profile this whole time. So I'm having a hard time reading you right now, Chris.
Never let him know
I'm
your next move,
confused.
Ethan.
Yeah,
Never let him know.
We're gonna be having this conversation. I'm like, what is this guy? I can't really get a read on this guy.
You can't get a read on it.
I can't get a read on this guy.
That's grunge, baby.
I just can't get a read on him right now. It's just crazy. I usually can,
Yeah, exactly. So how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Spirits are high. Energy levels are high. We've been slamming them.
We have been.
So we're kind of banking a few in preparation for some travel the next coming weeks. So, I love the feeling of getting ahead. It feels really good. So yeah, I'm doing good. Everything's doing right on schedule. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. So we are recording this on Thursday, June 9th. It is a very nice day. The ninth day of the 6th month of the year. Very, very important. I'm doing well.
69.
69, exactly.
Nice.
So it's just a nice day to talk grunge and all things related to it. And I'm doing well. A little tired as normal. I've been sleeping like shit lately. I've just been busy and not taking care of myself. But sometimes you still have to go into work. You just put a low profile on and you just power through. And that's what I'm here to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's awesome. So for today's episode, we are going to keep it casual. We haven't done this in a while. Very nice Q&A. So we took it to the people and asked, what are your burning questions for the Grunge Bible podcast, for Chris and I. And so we're just going to go through and be able to answer some deeper ones, some lighter ones, really just a mixed bag. Haven't looked through them completely, so we're going to get it's all fresh. These are not premeditated answers. These are on the spot. This is basically a live podcast. You guys are just getting it, edited afterwards, but it is live. We are live right now, Chris. So we
are live.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, you can't mess up. The pressure's on.
So
my heart is in my throat right now.
Yeah. So before we get to that, we do want to take the time to thank our patrons. Without you guys, this is not possible. You've heard this every week. If you haven't joined and you have heard this every week, now is your chance. We have a $2, $5, $10 tier. Each one of them just as important as the other. But the top tier do get shout outs, so that's pretty cool. But it is really easy to show a little bit of support. And, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We have some really good ideas that we're excited about. So we need your support more than ever right now. So, get off your lazy butt and give us $2, basically.
Let's get off the schneid here and actually put some elbow grease into this thing like we've been doing for the last 65 weeks. It's about time you join us. I think you have to. And speaking
because
of
it's
people,
cool. At the end of the day, it's cool to be supportive. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cooler than most other things you could probably do in a day, depending on how interesting your life is. But I think it's pretty cool. And people that got the memo early and have gotten the memo for a long time. Most of them are our top level Patreon supporters. And as always, I would like to thank them now. So I would like to thank Sue, Nikki Six, Laura Irene, Chris LSMS, Alex Long, Captain Hightop, Black Hole Sean, Darian Riddle, Alexis Shannon, Kayla Jean, Marianne, Sunny Mashburn, Jamie Lynn, Fresh Tendonitis, Seattle 4 Fanboy from New Jersey, What the Fuck's Up Denny's, our number one fan from Australia, Release, Millie, Carlene Salona, The Blue Owl, Kara K, Wayne Staley, Rachel Corning, Fuck Soup, Doug Endy, and Jade Mercado. So thank you to all of those individuals for your continued support. And like Ethan said, I think everybody else, it's past time to get up off the old keister and join up a little bit. Help us out.
Like I said, why not? It's the cool thing to do. All the cool kids are doing it. And it goes to a worthy cause, which is the Grunge Bible community.
And even if it's not a cool thing to do, I think there's something inherently liberating about just pissing away money on something that you might not even value. But if you're here, you probably value it. But I mean, hey, you got to take a chance sometimes.
Yeah, and honestly, if it's not like a worthy cause, like we may not be, then just more the merit. I mean, why not? Like you said,
you got nothing. There's nothing left to lose. There's nothing left to lose.
Yeah, I actually dare you. If you get no benefit from this, I dare you to still give us a few bucks. Because
tell us in the name that you join up as. Yeah. Tell us how much we're terrible. It'd be great.
That'd be cool. So before we get into the question and answer portion of the podcast, I do want to bring up one thing that came. New shit has come to light, and the Foo Fighters have announced that they are going to play a Taylor Hawkins tribute concert, one in London and one in LA, September 3rd and September 27th. And Chris, this is really big news. This is like the first news and first post that they've made. They had one from the Hawkins family, and then they posted this. So this is really important that they are going to be back, and they are going to play 2 shows. And I mean, we have no idea what they're going to do after this. So
right.
I think we have to do everything in our power to be at one of these shows if possible.
Yeah, it would certainly be,
because I think it's going to be really special. I would love to honor Taylor. Yeah. It's going to be, who knows? Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows what it's going to feel like in that venue.
And if we go back, I believe it was in early 2019, the Chris Cornell tribute concert that they did at the Forum in Los Angeles. We knew a few people who were able to make the trip to go, and they couldn't speak highly enough about how special it was and how emotional it was, to be able to come together, and people from different aspects of the industry and different aspects of Chris's life as a musician and life just as a person, and different friends were able to come and pay tribute. Maybe even by the time that this podcast comes out on the 20th of June, we may have some more information as to who the lineups are comprised of, but I think it's going to be really, really special, and I think it's going to be cathartic, certainly for all of the fans to get together and to share in this event. And I think it's also going to be cathartic for the musicians that will be involved and the band members that will be involved. And I'm really looking forward to it. Certainly, if we can attend, obviously, and if not, I think just to be able to watch it and to feel close to Taylor and feel close to the music again through that live setting, because like we've said time and time again, that is where the Foos and that's where Taylor, they were at their best in a live setting with a shit ton of people out there watching them and taking it in together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that I don't know what the ticket's going to be like, how they're going to come out, and all of that shenanigans that could be on the resales and whatnot. So if not, I hope that there is a streaming option, because I would definitely love to sit in. Yeah. If I couldn't make it there personally, because I just think that it's going to be a great two nights. Whichever one is fits better, but they both would be awesome. Yeah. So really
special.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm so glad that they're doing it. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. So
I agree. I totally agree.
Yep. Long live Taylor. It's great.
Long live Taylor.
So we'll keep you updated. I'm sure we'll talk about that more as we continue.
Get more information. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that takes us to the main portion of today's podcast, the question and answer. So let's dive into some questions. Chris, would you like to ask the first question, or?
Yeah, I would love to. So we'll start off with something that has good practicality, and we got a question, and it says, what are unexpected ways that you all find new music? Mine happens to be the YouTube comments of Marty Schwartz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little Liquid Schwartz action coming on here.
That's awesome. Who have you found through the comment section of Liquid Schwartz? What name? What's the best band that you've come across?
I honestly couldn't tell you because I personally don't look. The commenter or the question asker apparently just trawls through the sections to find song suggestions because typically
that's how they find. I thought that's how you find it.
No, that's what they do. I don't watch much Schwartz anymore.
You don't watch Liquid Schwartz anymore?
No, I haven't learned a new song on guitar from Marty in several months, maybe even several years. I thought that you
were in the trenches of the YouTube.
No,
Marty's.
I'm in the trenches, just not with Marty Schwartz. I mean, he's great. Yeah, not anymore. Those days are gone. But I think the key word, the operative word in this question is unexpected ways that you find music. I don't think I have very many unexpected ways that I find music. I mean, I get obviously suggestions from friends, just discover weekly shit on Spotify, just good old fashioned elbow grease looking for it. Also, if I'm out and I hear a song I like that I don't know, I'm not afraid to pull out the old Shazam and get that done. But I don't really know that I have any that are super off the beaten path. I think I'm able to discover a lot of really good music solely because I'm connected with a lot of really good people that I'm lucky enough to call my friends that also know a lot of good music. So I mean, it's not really unexpected, I guess. It's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do like finding songs on like the TV when, like, you know, Shazam as well. Like if you catch some good intro stuff, like you can find some gems in there. But
yeah, you totally can.
Or like the end of movie scenes. I really do like doing it for movies.
Some movies have some great soundtracks. They score the movie really, really well.
Yeah,
and it's just.
Well, that's one of my favorite purposes for music too, is to kind of like music videos, obviously, but like at the end of a movie, like it's just connected to what's going on in that moment. So I love video and audio together. So
well, case in point, I remember I think it was very early on in our fandom, but I think it was the movie Out of the Furnace, and Release was a song towards the end. I know the Steve Prefontaine movie, I think I Shall Be Released is a closer for that one as well. So there's definitely some that stick out in my mind.
Into the Wild,
the whole thing. The Man in Me and Dead Flowers from The Great Big Lebowski, which, by the way, that episode's coming. Not yet, but it's on the way.
It's coming. You just gotta wait.
You just gotta be patient for it. I swear to God, it's coming. It's coming around the mountain.
Okay. Next question. I think, we'll just do this one. I was going to do a 2-pronged question, but someone asked, how can they get more into grunge?
How can you get more into grunge?
I guess it's kind of dictated by what they're doing right now to be in the grunge.
Exactly.
Are they listening? Like, are they in the comments? Are they in the
are they in the
Spotify?
flood? Are they commenting? Or are they just... I don't know. You just got to spend more time listening to it. But it shouldn't be a chore. You shouldn't make a decision like, wow, I need to get more into this. If it happens, it happens. And I think it'll happen.
If somebody who had no idea what grunge was, and you said, okay, you got to listen to this album, and then you'll know, what are you giving them?
So one album that I would have to choose to get someone into it, I think I have to by default pick Nevermind by Nirvana, because the reason being, if you're a first timer and if you don't have any background, I don't think you're going to be ready for something from Mudhoney. I guess also maybe Facelift by Alice in Chains would be one that I would think of as well. I think it would have to be between those two.
Of course, I think 10 and Bad Motorfinger, obviously. Yeah. Pick one album from each of them.
Totally. If you have
maybe a little bit lame, but that, those are all some pretty high octane albums. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, in terms of getting more into it, just take a second and think about the things that that you already like, and then just get deeper down the rabbit hole in those bands or those musicians.
I think what helped me a lot.
Yeah.
What helped me a lot to get into it was starting to read just a little bit about the band, and then realize all of a sudden there's a bunch of dots that you can connect to the other bands. So once you understand that everybody was basically in a band together at some point and they did projects together, that really that's like a very interesting fact about the genre that not a lot of genres have. So the fact that you can go and, cross-reference bands and people and their history and see collaborations and, see these super bands, like Temple of the Dog and Mad Season and whatnot. That was some of the cooler parts of getting into the the grunge scene that I really appreciated when I first started.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it helps endear you to the people, into the bands, into the scene and the era in such a way that you just kind of want to keep looking deeper. So yeah, it's a good question, and hopefully we answered it adequately. This next question, I don't think we're going to have any trouble answering adequately, but people want to know, what are our opinions on yacht rock?
Oh, I'll say it, dude. I love it.
Exactly. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah. All right. Good. I was like, I'm gonna, I stand on that side of the line for sure.
Yeah,
Yacht
you
rock
have
is
to.
great.
In the same way that we have deemed for a while now the Grunge Bible podcast is a collective soul safe zone, this is a yacht rock safe zone. And honestly, we have a zero tolerance policy for yacht rock slander. England Dan,
100%.
John Ford Coley, Seals and Croft. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than some of those acts. I love yacht rock. It's the season for it too. You get a little summer breeze.
Hell yes. Yeah. Yes. It's getting there. It's, it usually comes off of like, I like listening to the Eagles a lot in the summer, and they can sometimes sneak onto a playlist here and there.
Well, they had a lot of stuff that was kind of yacht rocky. Little tongue twister right there. Yacht rocky.
Yeah. Yeah, Racky.
Yeah, sound like I'm from Boston.
That's good. I definitely agreed. I think that yacht rock should be played in the summer. There's really no reason not to.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
That's a good one. I'm glad we brought that up.
We cleared the air on that because I would feel very upset and uncomfortable with people assuming that we didn't like yacht rock. So I'm glad that we're able to get it out there that yes, we do. We enjoy it and we seek it out.
Yacht rock is pretty grunge at the end of the day.
Yacht rock's grunge as shit. Yeah. It really is. I mean, those guys weren't really cutting their hair that much. I don't know if they were bathing very much either.
Yeah, they were the flannels of the sea.
Exactly. I mean, basically those oversized lapels on the suit jackets from the 70s, that was basically like the 70s version of flannel in the 90s. Yeah. So, I mean, the bell bottoms, the wingtip shoes, I mean, it's really all you need.
That's good. That's really good. Absolutely. All right, what else we got here?
I have a good one.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so this is a good question, and I think I've thought about this myself too, but we got the question, does it affect your mood when talking and studying deep facts and or lyrics for the podcast? So I guess in other words, doing the research and spending time with certain music for the podcast, and I would even expand that to the page. Does that affect your mood sometimes? If you sit down to do like a Jar of Flies or something like that, and I think, I mean, for me, the answer is absolutely.
Yeah, I would say absolutely yes. Like the other day or last month, I watched the Shannon Hoon doc of all the footage and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I said a few times I was trying to like think and write, and I had to sit back and just kind of watch and just kind of take it in and stuff. So I think absolutely. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I would say it happens. It happens pretty frequently, I think, because a lot of times, not necessarily just the podcast, but I think even on the page, I mean, we're posting 4, 5, 6, 8 times a day or whatever, and a lot of times you go to seek out something to post, and whatever you decide to post, you end up listening to it, or you go down a little bit of a rabbit hole at the time, and a lot of the stuff is pretty sad. Especially, I mean, I feel like we can't go 3 weeks without it being the anniversary of someone's death or the birthday of someone who's passed away, and I think that tends to have an effect. So yeah, it absolutely affects our mood. I don't think it doesn't affect my mood in a way that I can't handle, or in a way that it's going to take away from, I mean, my ability to do other things or whatever. But I mean, certainly it gets you thinking and it gets you feeling different things, as all good art does.
Absolutely. It's like when you're given a topic in high school and college you had to do research on, and you waited to the last minute to do it, and then you start cramming, but then all of a sudden you start reading about it and you're like, wow, this is actually really interesting. All of a sudden you get really into it, and you almost didn't expect to.
That happens to me sometimes. Your interest timeline continues even beyond the time you've done that assignment. And I know that happens for us. Like, we'll do an album episode, and that album's presence in our lives will linger a hell of a lot longer than just the time it takes to research and cut the episode and put it out and post about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Good question.
It's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you this. Well, I'm assuming this is, well, are you down for a let go coaching swap? I'm assuming this is Bruins talk.
Yes. So
Blast Hill or Cassidy for Cassidy.
so I got a lot of questions about this because when we posted this Q&A, I used a photograph of a Boston Bruins fan looking very, very downtrodden, drinking from a flask, presumably at a game. And the reason for that being is the Bruins fired their coach, Bruce Cassidy. And I love hockey. I love the NHL. I'm really upset about it. I love Butch. I think he's great.
Here's your floor,
did him
Chris.
dirty. They did him dirty, and I'm sad. And I'm mad.
Dang. So I guess to answer the question, Blast Hill for Cassidy, is that good? Down for a let go coaching swap?
I would not want to swap. I mean, if it were up to me, Bruce Cassidy would still be the coach of the Boston Bruins. They did him unbelievably dirty. And Ethan, think of it this way. You have your annual review at the end of the year, and your boss is like, "Hey, you're gonna still be around next year. We're planning for it." And then 3 weeks go by, and your boss is like, "Hey, can I come over to your house? I have to talk to you." And then he fires you at your own home.
He pisses on your rug.
He pisses on your rug.
He pissed on your fucking rug.
He peed on his fucking rug, and that's basically what happened in no uncertain terms. So I'm very upset. I think dark days are ahead for the Bruins. And I'm kind of upset about that, certainly. And no, I wish Bruce Cassidy was still coaching the Bruins, and I will stand by that. We love ourselves some Butch Cassidy around these parts.
Good. Well, I'm glad we got that squared away because
it's been on my mind a lot actually. So I'm glad we could discuss that. Here's a really good question. You ready for this one? If you could join any band, what would it be? Which band?
Yeah, I think I saw a question that we could kind of combine these two. It says, which band do you think you'd fit in with best, both musically and personally? So it's a two-pronged question, I guess. So what band would we want to join? Are we going to limit ourselves to the grunge era?
I mean, no, I don't think we have to.
We'll do both.
Yeah, we'll do both.
With the fit in musically, and I think that I would fit in best with Alice in Chains.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. I don't know if I think kind of because I have red hair, kind of Lane had kind of red hair, so, and they kind of have that like rusty, their album covers to get that rusty and muddy type of, I don't know, tint to their, sound that I kind of feel like I could handle. I don't know if I'm maybe punk enough or punk pop enough for Nirvana to really be there. Like I feel like Alice in Chains is a little bit more laid back in some of the ways, and but I don't know about Pearl Jam. I don't know if me and Eddie would. And we definitely could work together, but I don't know. Maybe
I think there'd be some creative issues there.
Maybe not creative issues. I just don't know. I don't know if I could be. I don't know if I could. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would work as well if I was with Jerry. Like I would do whatever Jerry says.
Yeah,
I would love to be Jerry's. So I think Alice in Chains would be me.
Okay.
And of course, the Soundgarden, I think I would just want to be. It'd be really fucking cool to be a part of Soundgarden. But I think I'd rather just be a part of Alice in Chains and watch Soundgarden from, watch them do their thing. Yeah, what about you, Chris?
It's definitely between Soundgarden and Pearl Jam for me, for the sole reason that as a guitarist, those bands already have a couple of different guitarists, so then that would mean my workload would not be tremendously high. So I wouldn't have to do a lot, nor would I really be relied on that much to contribute to the sound, because Lord knows I would not really be able to do that. So I think it would be a coin flip toss, but probably just because of my track record, I think I would have to select Pearl Jam. Certainly Pearl Jam now, because Eddie plays guitar a lot. So you have Eddie and Stone trading off for the rhythm parts, oftentimes playing simultaneously, and then Mike taking lead. There would be fuck all for me to do, which would be great. So I could just kind of hang out and walk around the stage and pretend like I was a rock star. So I think I would fit in well for those purposes there.
That's perfect. I think that's the right answer.
Yeah. Just the least responsibility that I could be saddled with, the better it will be for every single party involved.
The next question is definitely, what is your favorite grunge Bible verse? And when we first, the way I take this is a single lyric or line, not necessarily like a verse.
That's what I take it as too.
Because in the beginning, like I said, what I would have loved, it would have been really difficult, but it would have been so cool to be like Eddie Vedder, fifth album, verse, second song, verse 7 or whatever.
Vedder 7, verse 3.
Yeah. If I had known then what I know now.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm going to go with. I think that is, I think that's my Grunge Bible verse. If I had known then
that one,
what I know now.
I think we've come to a consensus on that one. I don't know if there's another one.
This is what I would teach my kids when they're young. Like we'd recite Bible verses.
Yep.
If I had known then what I know now, Eddie Vedder, No Code 1996.
It answers everything. Like that line is applicable to damn near everything that could ever happen in your life. There's a reason I think why we've honed in on it for so long. There's also a reason why it was my bio on my personal Instagram page for like 5 or 6 years. That is, I don't even know if there's any that even come particularly close to that in my mind. If I was feeling vindictive, maybe I would cycle over to I would rather starve than eat your bread.
Yes.
But that's just too much angst to be carrying around as your favorite. I mean, you gotta live and let live a little bit every now and then. So and you think about that, it would be a shift because you would rather starve than eat someone's bread. But then after a while, if you had known then what you knew eventually, maybe you wouldn't have felt that way. It's just all about learning, and if I
things are different now.
Exactly. Yeah, there's another one.
Different.
Yep. Exactly. It's hard to imagine. That's another good way because I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know any other way to say it. It's just hard to imagine.
Yeah, I know what you guys are all probably thinking. I can't believe that you guys didn't say Into the Flood again. But that's more of a mantra. And that was another question. Like, what's the mantra? And obviously, it's going to be Into the Flood again. Same old chip it was back then. And that is a Bible verse. I think another one, hands are bruised from breaking rocks all day.
Totthat.
But we're sticking with Red Mosquito for this one.
It's gotta be Red Mosquito. Here's a good question that is not particularly grunge related, but I think it's all important. But what are the best and worst toppings to put onto a pizza?
Best topping is pepperoni. I don't care what people say. Yeah,
and
I don't care what people say.
This question comes from our very, very vocal and committed follower and friend, Anthony De La Cruz. Thank you so much for your continued support. But yeah, you really can't go wrong with pepperoni and some good cheese, like a good old New York style slice.
I was gonna say, now we're coming from the East Coast, so New York Philadelphia pizza, we like it.
That's a
thin.
pizza.
Yeah, that's a pizza. We like it thin. We like it greasy, and the pepperoni. The pepperoni brings the grease to the party, which is important. I know Chicago's probably saying sausage. Sausage is a really good topping, but pepperoni does have that grease aspect to it when it cooks. Oh man, you can't beat it.
And normally it
goes on every. It has to be on every combination. Like pizza, if you want to do like some peppers and some stuff, like there's got to be pepperoni.
Yeah, I would agree. Yep, I love pepperoni. Maybe some olives in there as well. Some mushrooms. I think that would be
supreme.
That would be very, very good. But in kind of opposite of how I normally carry myself, I don't think I can pick a side on New York versus Chicago pizza. I like them both. I don't often get Chicago style pizza because I don't live in the Midwest anymore. But it's good. I mean, I don't know necessarily if it's not what I think of when I think of pizza. I mean, pizza's New York style pizza.
I'll say this about Chicago versus New York pizza. When I buy a pizza, and I know depending on where you are, the pizzas are big, but there's something about when you go to buy Chicago pizza and the bill comes back at like $35, and you're like, what the hell did I just buy? For a single pie. Yeah, you're like you're buying they treat it like a full course meal. I'm not saying that New York pizza is always that much cheaper because it's still expensive
pizza by
in New
the
York.
Slice late at night, you really can't beat that, and you can't do that with Chicago style.
You can't do that with Chicago
deep
style.
Dish. There's no deep dish by the slice.
And you buy a deep dish, and it's going to be like $25, no problem. For a smaller pizza, it's bigger. It's got more. It's got more to it. I guess
it's thicker. It's a thick boy.
It's rare.
You
girth,
have the thick boy, and you have the long boy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I like that. I think it's just better.
Yeah.
But I will also say this though. Well, they both do well reheated. I was going to say I like Chicago style reheated. That's done pretty well. But
that's really good.
This is important. How do you eat your pizza the second day?
Oh, This is really, really important.
Do you? Obviously, the
I
options
don't
are
I don't like
cold
to heat
pizza.
it up. I don't like to heat it up.
So you're a cold pizza guy no matter what.
I do not no matter what, but most of the time I would eat cold pizza. Sometimes if the night gets away from you and you accidentally leave it on the counter, room temperature's fine too. But I do like cold pizza. I don't. I mean, I'm not going to put the oven on and put it on the grates for a little bit to warm it up. I'm certainly not going to microwave it. I think the microwave would be abysmal for that. But
microwave is an atrocity and never comes out well.
exactly. There's just a lot of things that you just can't microwave. I think pizza's one of them. It just gets way too soggy. If anything, you got to put it on the oven, maybe under the broiler for a second.
You can't microwave forks. No good.
What about you? What do you think?
I'm a big. I like throwing on the oven. Maybe broil. Okay. I'll throw on the broil, and something about double cooking something like that. Like double crisps the cheese a little bit, and I like melted cheese. So I don't know. Cold pizza. If I'm in a pinch, I'll do it. But I kind of moved away. I used to do it a lot, but I moved away from it. Mm-hmm. The thing is also like poor pizza is not good cold. I feel.
Yeah.
All right. Hot take though. What you need to do. So when you buy a box of pizza, if you eat it, if you think you're gonna eat leftovers within the next 12 hours, don't even put it in the fridge.
I would agree.
Because room temperature pizza is.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. It's gas. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
The grease kind of coagulates and makes it.
It just forms a little bit better. So it's cleaner. It's a lot cleaner than when that thing's ripping hot. So yeah, I would totally agree with that.
So there's some good takes on pizza for everybody out there.
Talk. Here's another good conversation. Once again, coming from a friend of ours. This is coming from our top level patron, the Blue Owl, and the Blue Owl wants to know: is riding a bike grunge? And additionally, what is the most grunge transportation method? So let's start first with riding a bike. Is that grunge, Ethan?
Bicycle or? We're talking like motorcycle.
It wasn't specified, so I presume bicycle.
Yeah, I mean. Is it grunge? Yeah, I mean you're not using you're not using gas, you're not using the normal way of transportation that many people.
You don't need a license for it.
You don't maybe you lost the license so you have to use a bike. Obviously motorcycle is very grunge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say biking is grunge.
Yeah, I think biking's
but
very
grunge. Not in a speed suit.
No. Not like road biking or competition biking for sport. I'm talking about. It's not safe, hopping on. No,
probably not with a helmet either.
Right? No. Yeah. Do we?
I don't want to condone. I mean, I don't want to condone anything.
That's the thing. I can't. I don't want to condone. You have to wear a helmet, but if you were to ask me if it's grungy or if you don't wear a helmet, I think we all know what the answer to that is without saying that. But you have to wear a helmet. So I want to see everybody out there biking in their flannels and helmets.
With Judas Priest in mind, breaking the law. That's what we're thinking about. So
absolutely.
So, what is the most grunge way of transportation?
That's tough.
I think I'm going with the T. I think I'm going the T. The train, dude.
I like that.
I think the subway is pretty grunge. There's a lot of music that happens in the grunge way, in the grunge way. There's a lot of music that happens in the subway.
Yep.
You get a lot of grungy people down there. I mean, you're underground.
There could be a lot of filth down there, a lot of grime, a lot of dust, a lot of dirt, a lot of rats.
A lot of rats. Not the SkyTrain. They're not talking. They're not talking the Jetsons here. I'm talking
monorail, no tram, none of that garbage. I'm talking subterranean transportation.
Under there in the dark.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's the same thing. Like I could be convinced in a pinch. Like a city bus going through a tunnel. That's pretty grunge.
At night,
I think it's got to be public transportation. Yeah,
city bus at night. That's good.
Yeah, certainly not. It's not a plane. It's not a car. It's not a pickup truck either. I think it's public transportation. Which, by the way, Grunge Bible, we love public transportation. It's very important, and it's the grungiest method of transportation.
Yep. Second is probably like walking.
Yeah.
That's pretty grunge.
Got to be walking. What about running? Just running from destination to destination.
I mean,
is that grungy?
Yeah. Especially if you're carrying something. If you're just running with nothing, but if you got to carry, if you got a backpack and you got something in your hands, that's pretty grungy.
Yeah.
A guitar. Maybe you have a guitar in your hand. You're running with a guitar.
That would be very, very grungy. I like that a lot.
All right. Question. It says Fugazi, question mark?
Fugazi.
Yes. Fugazi.
Absolutely. I was reading up earlier today, believe it or not, just about all of the legendary shows that they would do in the late 80s and early 90s. They had the famed run of just $5 all-comer shows, and sometimes, they didn't even charge money. You just go and they would just blow your face off with their power. That's another band that, speaking of the conversation that we had in episode 64, that's a band that I want to spend some more time around. But similarly, I don't know if I have what it takes to get into it, just like I don't know if I have what it takes to get into underground punk music. I think we could swing Fugazi, though. I really
100%. I mean, they have a song that like is kind of your anthem.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. I do everything right, and yet I'm so tired all of the time.
Yeah, that song is really good. I think you've actually inspired me. I'm prepared to do a deep dive into some Fugazi, a little bit more than Waiting Room and I'm So Tired and whatnot that comes up.
I like that. There's another question right here that, Ethan, while I would welcome your answer, I think everybody's asking it for my answer. And the question is, couldn't you say one truly positive thing about Guns N' Roses? And the answer is...
I did just see that.
I couldn't, and I won't.
Yeah. And
I'm just not gonna.
So it says, could you not say a positive thing? So I think the answer is... Yes, I could not say a positive thing about it.
Yeah, you're right.
I cannot. So the answer is yes. There's
the answer
nothing.
Is yes.
The only thing I think we've talked about. The only thing I can think of is Slash on Guitar Hero 2. He's smoking and wearing the hat. He's got the hat.
That was my first indoctrination, basically, into cigarettes plus hat plus rock and roll
equals
plus
fire.
Riffs is equals fire emoji, and that's just the way that goes. But yeah, I really couldn't say anything positive about them. Another question that we have here, we can get into. Do you have a favorite pop song of all time?
Favorite pop song of all time.
I'm not well read enough on pop music.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm gonna misspeak and say something that is Michael Jackson pop.
Yeah, I would say so.
He's pretty poppy. I was listening to him the other day. He's got some really good stuff. I mean, off the top of my head, it's hard. I'm shooting blanks. I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, it's an impossibility for me to answer if it's talking about all time. But lately, I've been listening to Harry Styles' new album a lot, and I really like it. I think it's really, really good. It came out a little bit ago, and that's certainly what people would consider to be pop music, and I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, he's got that one song, that As It Was or whatever, that is really big right now. Yeah. I will bring up, it was about 3 weeks ago, actually maybe 4 weeks ago, when we recorded, I believe, the post-grunge episode. We talked about the MGK's new album, and I threw it on.
Gotten around to it.
I did. I put it on the other day.
What do you think?
It is depressing as fuck.
Depressing as fuck because it's not good, or depressing as fuck because it's sad?
It's lyric. Like, he's emo rock, and I didn't realize it's pretty explicitly talk about depression and drugs in a weird way.
No way.
Oh yeah, and I always wonder when people get really well, he's a good example. I don't know what his audience is, because he definitely appeals to young teenagers. And then when I hear his lyrics and stuff, I'm always it's kind of like Euphoria. Is that really the kids are watching it, but it shouldn't be for teenagers and stuff to listen to.
It's not for them.
or to watch. Yeah, it's just such a weird thing for sometimes. So I don't know. I mean, he has some good musical parts, but it's kind of shallow and definitely a little bit. It's pretty. I don't know, man. Threw me off. It was a little bit over what I was expecting.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
might be worth a look on my part.
Yeah, someday. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, don't go out and listen to it. You probably already have. So what are you gonna do?
2 things that you learn on the Grunge Bible podcast: don't go out and listen to MGK, and wear a helmet when you ride your bike.
Exactly. Did you see Kafaro's question?
Yes, Chris Cafaro asked us a flurry of questions. Actually, he did.
But the main one The main one, I see what he's doing here. The question is, I don't really understand the other two, the who and the why, but the question is Pearl Jam overrated? This is interesting. I wonder where this stems from him.
I think this stems from the fact that when we first spoke with him, we had the first conversation. We talked about how we had just seen Pearl Jam the night before and how they were so great, and then he was like, Pearl Jam sucked ever since 1992.
They haven't released anything good from 10.
Yeah, everything after 10 sucked. And since then, he's been remarkably consistent about, kind of razzing us because we like Pearl Jam post 30 years ago. And are they overrated? I guess it depends on how you rate them.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I wish that it's really hard for somebody that didn't grow up when it was going on to really see like how they progressed. Like that's why like I kind of, when he talks about it and says these things, I'm like, I was like, yeah, I guess he knows better in a way.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm sure there's a lot of people, his age and maybe people that are in their 50s in general who grew up with a band that think they're super overrated at this point. I guess I don't have that perspective, so I can't answer it, honestly.
I guess the simple, definition of overrated is like, are they, they are wildly successful and massive. Right. So are they bigger than they should be? Like if you compare other bands that are maybe like the same, like I guess... it's different. I was gonna say Alice in Chains. Like they're not as big as Pearl Jam, but who's to say? But I mean, that maybe because Lane passed. So
exactly, right. So one more question here before we wrap up the Q&A, and this is a kind of a postscript to that question. But we got an inquiry: is Silverchair underrated?
Oh, that's good.
I think they're underrated. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that DJ is an awesome songwriter, and he's produced some really good stuff.
Because of their age, and people write them off because DJ had long blonde hair at the time, and people didn't like that very much because they were like, "Oh, he's Kurt Cobain. He's trying to be Kurt."
Definitely a stigma.
Couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, they're probably underrated. They're probably underrated. I probably underrate them myself. I need to go back and re-rate them, I think.
Yeah, we need to dive in. So thank you to everyone who submitted a question, and apologies to the individuals who submitted a question that we did not answer. My one note for that would be to ask better questions, and maybe we'll answer them next time. So you'll have to wait for another 7 or 8 weeks to go by. But Ethan, before we get into our final thank yous and song of the week, there is a very, very important topic that we do need to discuss, because this episode is coming out on Monday, June 20th, and on Tuesday, June 21st. Do you know what's happening?
I do, and I hope the people know that.
If they don't, we're gonna tell them right now.
If they don't know, so if they don't know, then they haven't been listening to the podcast. They haven't been listening to, just they haven't been paying attention to the concert radar. Yeah. And it's time. Jerry Cantrell is back. He's back in Europe.
Ready and waiting, and on the 21st he steps in and he gets ready to rock Switzerland. The whole country, he's gonna rock it. It's gonna be great. He's got dates in Switzerland, France, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, Germany again, the Netherlands. I mean, he's outside this summer.
Dude, he's
outside.
Cantrell
is outside.
I mean, I'm thinking about buying a ticket and heading over there.
What do we have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Maybe some money. That's about it.
A few $1,000s that we maybe don't have, but it's worth it.
It'd probably be worth it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's totally gonna rock. He's totally gonna rock Switzerland tomorrow.
He's well rested now too.
He is. He's
excited to get back out there. I can tell. I can tell. He wrote me a letter talking about how he's so excited to get back out there and rock Europe, and he's gonna do exactly that. So I'm very, very excited about that, and I hope you all are too. And time's running out to see Jerry on the Brighton tour. So
go see Jerry.
If you missed out in the US, you gotta
see him.
Take out a bridge loan and head over across the pond and see him.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Final segment of the show. Moving in, we have Song of the Week. Quick shout out to our producer, Drew McFadden. This wouldn't be possible without him. Or as we like to say, fuck you, Drew.
Fuck you, Drew.
A lot of F words in this episode. It seems like we've been cursing a little bit more.
We've been cursing a little bit. We're getting into the mix
sorry
with
if you guys are. Just give a little.
Sorry about that, but we did a good thing. We told people to wear their helmets. So
we're fired up.
Take.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't. I mean, Drew understands. It's our way of saying thank you to him because he is awesome. Chris, what have you been listening to recently? What's really lighting your world on fire, and what do you want the people to go out and listen to?
Yeah, I don't really know that anything's been lighting my world on fire lately in terms of music. There's been a couple of different things that I've been listening to from different points. I will say summertime is, for all intents and purposes, here. I spent a lot of time outside this past weekend, kind of hanging out outside, nice little drink situation, and yeah, this is it's one of the songs that played over the weekend when I was outside at the bar. It makes my cut for song of the week, and it's going to be from the Velvet Underground, and it's going to be Pale Blue Eyes. I'll tell you, I was sitting outside with a good friend of mine, like 3:00 on a Sunday afternoon, drinking a Jameson and ginger, and this song was on, and it was great. It was really, really important, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's just a nice easy vibe for a nice slow summer day, because I think
slow Sunday,
yeah, we all need one of those every now and then, and just kind of awesome. Just ride it out and extend it into the Monday flood. But yeah, we'll go with Velvet Underground, Pale Blue Eyes for song of the week. I had another song written down on my notepad here on the show notes, but I decided to switch it as I was beginning to explain. So that's what we have. But yeah, nothing's really jumping out to me. I know I say sometimes that there's some weeks where I know and I'm excited. And I'm excited about this too, but it didn't really jump out at me. But what about you? Do you feel any more any more resolution to this?
My song that came to me as I was driving back this morning from doing some errands. I actually really enjoyed this song. Do you think you know what it is?
I think I know it. Is this the one that you texted Drew and I earlier?
It came on right after that. I love that song.
Yep.
For some reason, that song, we're going to play that at our show when we have a show together. A little foreshadowing. But no, my song, the next song, I would have went with that one, but then I heard Tyler by the Toadies came on.
Oh, that's such a good song.
So good.
It's such a good song.
It like has such a great ending to it. But I love one of the lyrics, on the second verse. It says, "I find a window in the kitchen and I let myself in, rummage through the refrigerator, find myself a beer." And it's just such a killer song, dude. I love the Toadies, man. I feel like that guy in the album
is creepy as fuck too. That song is so creepy. It's about someone breaking into a house.
Yeah.
No good,
and
but
being,
I guess
very like she's
very,
lying
very
in the bed.
not respectful of somebody. But yeah, the end of the song when the lead singer, I think Vaden Todd Lewis, if I remember correctly. He's just belting it out like, "I will be with her tonight." He's just letting it rip.
It's good.
That's a really good song. That was one of the first songs that I heard from them. I remember.
Makes sense.
Obviously, aside from the Mighty Possum Kingdom, but
hell yes,
that's such a good song. Funnily enough, they do a really good cover of "Heart of Glass" by Blondie. They did like a re-recording acoustic album of some of their older hits, and that one somehow made it on there. It's really, really good. So I recommend you check that one out. And just for the record, the song in question that I thought you were going to pick, it was Local H's "Bound for the Floor." But I mean, that's never so far from the mind.
Dude, it's such a good song. That's one song.
Copacetic.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the songs that we used to jam. Drew brought to the band and was like, "We need to play this song," and it's like, just awesome. Awesome song. That gets me in a good mood every time it pops in my ear when I'm listening. So that's a easy play for a weekend.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
All right, I think that wraps her up. I think that finishes it up for all us sinners.
All us sinners. There it is, dropping another Lebowski Easter egg. I promise you, once again, it's on the way. It's coming.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So thank you, everybody, for making it to the end of this podcast. We really do appreciate the listens and the attentiveness that you guys offer. Any opinions or, requests and reviews are always welcome. So you can find that on the different platforms, or if you want to shoot us a DM or email us, whatever you want to do. But thank you again. We have fun doing this, so I think we'll keep doing it.
I think we will. So I echo everything that you said. Thanks everyone out there for listening, and we will be back with you next week for episode number 66.
All right, guys, rock and roll. Have an awesome week, and we will see you same time, same place next week.
Don't forget your helmet. Are you ready?
Yep.
Fuck, Drew's texting. God damn it, Drew.
Fuck you, Drew.
Oh my goodness.
Stop texting me. You're trying to make a point that you got it to us before the weekend, huh? Yeah. If I can get it, dude. It takes you 10 minutes to edit these, doesn't it? The time before downloading and sending it back to us is like 15 minutes.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep. Sure am.
I would